Now the church grows not through the advancement of force, but through the advancement of persuasion and of a pure heart and people who just speak from sincerity. So I've asked Miss Sandy Teal to say the prayer tonight because I believe she speaks from a very pure and tender heart. And if there's ever going to be someone to be persuaded to follow Christ, this is a good example right here. So Miss Sandy, would you be so kind as to lead us in a prayer?
Humble me, sir. It's only through God's grace that I am who I am today. Can we bow our head? Lord God in heaven, Lord, we stand here tonight and we have so many brothers and sisters in the lower half of our United States that have been affected by tremendous storms. Lord, we just reach out to you and pray for peace and restoration over all of them, Lord, and just to give them what they need, Lord, to make it through like we've made it through. We're still struggling and making it ourselves, that we could be a witness to them, Lord, and help them. Lord, we just pray tonight that anything done and voted on, that it be within your will, because if it's not even worth doing. Lord, we pray for wisdom and insight and guidance and grace, Lord. Continue to keep your sweet, sweet grace over our parish, because, Lord, we need you. We need you now as we've never needed you before. And it's in your precious name, dear Jesus, that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Mr. Talbot, can you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sandy, you want to call roll, please?
Mr. King.
Here.
Mr. Harris.
Here.
Mr. Talbert.
Here.
Mr. Ledwell.
Here.
Mr. Averett.
Here.
Mr. Mack.
Here.
Mr. Ard.
Here.
Mr. Wascom.
Here.
Mr. Curley.
At this time, I'd like to remind everyone, if you have a cell phone, please turn it off, mute it. We will allow you time for public input. If we come to an item that you'd like to speak on, please come to the podium, state your name and address, and we'll give you time to speak. Our presentation, Every Dog's Club, Mr. Shane Mack.
Yes, thank you. All right, it is with great honor I'd like to welcome Miss Suzanne Boletto. She is with Every Dog Club, and she would like to give us some presentation and some information on some upcoming events.
Okay, first off, who owns a dog? Who owns a fur baby? We have an event for both of y'all.
What's a fur baby?
A fur baby. That's your dog. That's your fur baby.
I mean, I got a collie. He's got a lot of fur, but he ain't no baby.
Okay, but he still counts.
I got a job.
Thank you, Councilman Shane Mack, for your assistance in placing me on the agenda this evening, and I appreciate you allowing me a few minutes of your time. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Suzanne Boletto. I'm Vice President of Every Dog Club. Excuse me. We are a 501c3 corporation established in April 2015 and based in Walker, Louisiana. I'm excited to announce that Livingston Parish once again is going to the dogs with 2 events this year. The first is our first agility mock trial on Saturday, November the 4th in Walker at the Sidney Hutchinson Park, and then our first sanctioned, CKC sanctioned confirmation dog show on December the 2nd at the Livingston Parish Fairgrounds. Because this is a sanctioned event, all dogs must be registered as CKC. We accept AKC and other kennel registrations as valid proof for dual registrations. You can please check our website, CKC USA, for more information regarding registrations. Both events are for all breeds, big dog, little dog, fast dog, or slow dog. The goal is to have fun with our dogs and support a good cause. The entry fee is $20 per dog per class, and admission is free to watch. There will also be a dog costume contest at the dog show, which is always a crowd favorite. Dog-related vendor space will also be available for $20 per vendor space at each of the events. We welcome our youth, beginners, and experienced dog handlers to participate in the agility and/or dog show. For agility, we offer optional training at the CKC headquarters in Walker on Tuesday evenings. For dog showing, we offer optional tips and practice training classes for $5 per dog session, and they run about an hour each. The same material will be covered at each class, so there's no need to attend them all. Pre-registration is required, please, for the dog show training classes. For information on pre-registration is on the flyer, our website, and Facebook page. These show trainings will be held at Livingston Parish School Board, the central office in the front parking lot. Last year when I addressed you, the Council of Livingston Parish was beginning the recovery from the 2016 flood. After our 2016 fall fundraising event, we donated over 80% of our proceeds to the Humane Society of Louisiana. This year, our Texan neighbors, fellow Louisianians, and now Floridians have experienced major catastrophes. Every dog club, as always, we give to receive. Again, we will donate a portion of our proceeds from our 2 events to an organization or organizations who have taken care of these dogs rescued from Harvey or Irma. There we go. Excuse me. I should know that name by now. Help us help those who help our faithful companions. After careful research and consideration will be conducted by our club members and board, and soon after December the 2nd event, we'll have a final decision on our donation or donations who will be of most benefit. I have provided to each councilman a copy of our flyers or event flyers for both events. The show programs are on the back, and also a training schedule. Additional flyers, programs, and sponsorships are available from our website, www.everydogclub.org, and Facebook page, Every Dog Club. And we will also have extras with us tonight. I wish to take a moment to offer a huge thank you and to recognize our sponsors this far. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, Smiling Sunshine Cleaning Service, Faithful Companions Grooming, Sharp GLS, Raymond Thompson Funeral Home, Victor, Super Premium Dog Food, Continental Kennel Club, Lucky Pet Grooming, Louisiana Dental, New Orleans Conventions Company Incorporated, and AmVets Post 68, just to name a few. Sponsorship opportunities are still available and will be available until October the 1st of 2017. Please be sure to add these dates to your calendar, as Every Dog Club invites all of our dog lovers, including you, your family, and friends, to come and have a tail wagging a good time. Every Dog Club in itself offers quality and fun training in addition to basic obedience. We always welcome new members any time of the year. We ask for your support for these events, assistance with publicity, and assistance in securing sponsorship. From a tiny nut, a mighty tree grows, and every dog has sprouted. Help us branch out. Is there any questions that I can answer for you, or any suggestions you have to offer?
Sounds like
Yes,
a
you did a
good
good
time.
job, huh?
Sounds like a good time, yeah.
Sounds like a good overtime.
So I hope you do come out. Thank you again, and have a good meeting.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you. All right, next, we need to get a motion to adopt the minutes for the August 24th, 2017 regular meeting of the council.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Wasserman. Second by the old man down there at the end.
Lord,
Mr. Bubba Harris.
You're right. Tracy is still here.
I had to throw one in there somewhere.
You're supposed to say that for Mark.
Now, we have the parish president's report, and Mr. Mark Carroll is going to be standing in for Mr. Leighton Ricks.
We figured you wanted somebody.
Oh, wait, we need to, call for a
One or
vote.
two.
All in favor for adopting the minutes?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Now the parish president report.
Well, on behalf of President Leighton Ricks and myself, I want to start by saying I love all of you, and Mr. Leighton does too. I see on the first part of it, Livingston Parish Assessor building proposal. I know nothing about that, so let's move on with that one. The other thing he's asking for is authorization to bid to do some repair work on the front building. It's leaking, it needs to be pressure washed and some stucco and caulk. If you'll authorize that, we appreciate it.
Who wrote the scope of work on that? Mark, we hired an engineer to write the scope of work on that deal? Or?
Well, we tried to get Fort Block to do it, but it was actually over their head, Mr. Talbot, so,
We actually had this building one covered under warranty. The problem with this building had in the warranty period, so we sort of knew what was involved, and we used what was involved in this building to write the scope for that building.
Okay.
and again, Fort Block is over their head.
All right, can I get a motion?
I make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Avery. Second by Mr. Harris. All in favor?
Can I ask a question?
To authorize
This is authorized.
the advertisement of bids.
Thank you.
Jennifer, we got that, we do have it budgeted, right?
Yes, sir.
Item 10?
All
So Homeland
right.
Security.
First one on my list is a resolution adopting the revised Restore Act multi-year plan. If you can remember back, we tried to use that funding to do waterway debris cleanup. Was asked to go after that. Unfortunately, that was not a coastal restoration project in their eyes. We tried everything, couldn't get it done, so then we backed up and submitted the dredging at the mouth of the Amid River and take the spoils from that and rebuild the little island next to it. That is a coastal restoration project. They were excited about that, so we're just changing our approach on this, and we need authorization to move forward with that and accept it. So if you'll do that, I'd appreciate it.
I'm excited about that too. I'll make that move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Lobel, second by Mr. Watson. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passed.
Can I make a comment while I'm here, please? I came to you a few meetings back talking about the waterway debris that we've had approved through NRCS. And you didn't like the idea of the Natal being approved all the way up. We only had it approved from 22 to the interstate. Well, after a meeting today with Tangible Hope Parish and the fact that we're going to start working closely together, Tangible Hope Parish is going to take from the interstate all the way up and into Tangible Hope Parish. And then they are actually paying for the permitting. So it's going to save us about $16,000 just on the permitting on that part of Natal Benny. And they're looking forward to working with us in the future on drainage because everything through there affects them as well. And they're going to be doing some waterway cleaning that will eventually dump into the Tickfall River. They're going to hold off on that until we get the Tickfall River clean, so it won't affect your citizens.
So they're going to clean from, we're going to clean from the interstate
Back to 22.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I needed.
Outstanding news.
Very, very good.
At this time, I've been asked to lift the agenda, so I would need a motion to do that.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Avery.
I second it.
Second by Mr. Mack. Ms. Sandy, call for the vote individually.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Talbot?
Yes.
Mr. Libel?
Yes.
Mr. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. R?
Yes,
Mr. Wascom?
Yes.
And
that's for you as well.
yes, sir. And that is authorizing Mr. Layton to sign the DOTD, Offsets and Bridge program. It expires after so long. I think the last one was signed by Mr. Grimmer. It expires very soon. Mr. Talbot talked to them. They said that it wouldn't be a problem, but I really hate to see anything expire and take a chance of possibly losing something, but that's all it is. It's a standard procedure. We just need to have Mr. Layton sign it, so I need authorization for that.
Motion?
I'll make it.
Motion by Mr. Lobel to authorize Mr. Layton to sign. second by Mr. King. Sandy, call for a vote.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Talbert?
Yes.
Mr. Livell?
Yes.
Mr. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Ard?
Yes.
Mr. Wasserman?
Yes.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Now I need a motion to go back to the regular agenda.
Make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Mack, second by Mr. Avery. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Now, I will need a motion to enter into a public hearing. Motion by Mr. King. Second by Mr. Avery. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? We're now entering public hearing. This public hearing is amendments of the subdivision ordinance concerning building lines with respect to defining the size of the lots and the setbacks.
We had some concerns earlier that were brought about theoretically we have a 5-foot setback from the property line to a structure. But we've been measuring the structure from the slab to the building line, so we end up with like 18 inches overhanging into the 5 foot. So we initially looked at redefining where we measure the house from. However, in discussion, we found out if architect signs off a set of plans, that it's been local law sometimes gets superseded. So in looking for the best way to get back closer to the 5 foot between the building and the building line on those setbacks was to just increase the setbacks on lots 65 foot or smaller to 6 foot, and then a lot 66 foot or bigger, the setback will become 7. It won't affect the front overhang or the back overhang. We'll just increase the distance between the two houses in case of fire. It's simply a safety measure. And the reason for the distance on the larger lots, you tend to have bigger houses, so you have more heat. So that's basically what the ordinance entails.
Do we have any public input on this? Any more from the council? I need a motion to close the public hearing. Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Lobell. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, now Ms. Sandy, you want to read this?
This is proposed ordinance 17-30. This is an ordinance to amend chapter 13, planning development, article 4, subdivision regulations, section 13-56, building lines of the code of ordinances in the Parish of Livingston.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Talbot,
I'll second that.
second by Mr. Mack. Want to call for a vote, Ms. Sandy?
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Talbert?
Yes.
Mr. Livell?
Yes.
Mr. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Ard?
Yes.
Mr. Wasserman?
Yes.
Right, item 12, I need another motion to enter into a public hearing.
Make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Talbot, second by Mr. Mack. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, we're now entering the public hearing. This is ordinance to dissolve Isabella Lakes Community District, Development District. Are there any comments from the public? Comments from the council? Need a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wasserman, second by Mr. Avery. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right. Now I need a motion. Ms. Sandy, you want to read by title?
Yes, sir. This is proposed ordinance 17-31. This is an ordinance dissolving Isabella Lakes Community Development District within the Parish of Livingston, State of Louisiana, in compliance with provisions of Chapter 27B, Title 33 of the Louisiana Revised Statutes of 1950 as amended, Louisiana Revised Statute 33-9039.11 to 37 inclusive.
Need a motion. Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Avery. Ms. Sandy, you call for vote?
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Talbert?
Yes.
Mr. Livell?
Yes.
Mr. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Ard?
Yes.
Mr. Wasserman?
Yes.
All right, item 13. I need one more motion to enter into a public hearing.
All right.
Mr. King, second by Mr. Mack. All in favor? All opposed? Now enter into a public hearing. This is to adopt an ordinance to rescind LP ordinance number 17-27, adopted on July 27, 2017, regarding quitclaim servitude revocation, Carolyn Road, Adrian Jenkins. Sandy, you want to read by title?
Yes, sir, this
Or you
is,
wanna- We need to do public input first.
it's up to you.
Is there anyone in the public got input on this? Council have any more? All right, I need a motion to close the public hearing.
But wait, Sam, is Sam still here? Did this revocation go through our checklist procedure that we established after we made that boo-boo a while back? This is the one rescinding the boo-boo?
Yes, this is the one.
Okay.
Any more comments? I'll need a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, motion.
Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Lobel. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, now Ms. Sandy, would you read by title?
Yes, sir, this is ordinance 17-32, an ordinance rescinding ordinance 17-27 of the parish of Livingston and adopted on July 27, 2017, concerning the revocation of a certain 40-foot servitude of access and a certain 60-foot servitude of access located in section 41 T8S R3E, Greensburg Land District.
Motion to accept?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Haver. Second by Mr. Mack. Ms. Sandy, call for a vote, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Talbot?
Yes.
Mr. Lobel?
Yes.
Mr. Averitt?
Yes.
Mr. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Ard?
Yes.
Mr. Westland?
Yes.
All right, item 14, Planning Department. Sam.
This is actually Public Works. This is a Don Road replacement there's culverts in underneath the bridge, and we want to go back to a span bridge. To create more water coming through there, we've got a little disorder there. We've done a little research with our engineers, and we need to replace this culvert with a bridge, and that's what they had before. So we would like to authorize AFA to proceed with the work as listed on proposed for a topo survey, permitting, engineering inspection, and geotech investigation. Please.
A motion?
I'll make
So that's their total bid, $28,500 to do this work?
Well, that's their deal. That's the,
I mean for AFA, it's on
That's right, that's
a
correct.
$150,000 proposed project?
That's correct. That's correct. That's your engineer.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Averitt. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed.
Also need authorization for the parish president to sign the said proposal to approve the work.
I'll make comments from the council.
Authorize parish president to sign said
I'll
proposal.
make that motion.
Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Avery. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item 15, Mr. Sam.
First on the agenda is commercial development. One Life Baptist Church preliminary site plan. This is in Mr. Bub Harris's district. It is a recommendation of the Livingston Parish Planning Commission to approve the preliminary site plan for One Life Baptist Church with a waiver on the hard surface and a 3-year time period to get the hard surface done.
Right. And we've done that before at
Yes, we have.
different areas.
Yes, we have.
I'll make a motion that we accept that.
Second.
Sir.
Motion by Mr. Harris, second by Mr. Watson. Is there any comment from the public? Any more comment from the council? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Where's that at? I thought I saw
Next on your agenda is a minor resub. This is Mr. Randy LaClosse, resub variance. This is in Mr. Tab Lobel This item comes to the council with no recommendation. I think Mr. Taylor might want to speak on this.
Yes, I went and looked at it. It's actually two brothers that bought lots, 2-acre lots next to each other. And he wants to take one of them and split it in half, and his cousin is gonna buy the other half from him. Plenty of room behind it for drainage. There's hundreds of acres behind it, warehousing property. We're asking for a variance for acre servitude. Too many lots on servitude, but it's 1-acre lot. It's taking a 2-acre lot and making it into 2 1-acre lots. So big lot.
And it's for a family, it's just
For
not
a family,
direct.
it's just not.
It's not son or, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like to see it go.
I think that's.
I'll make a motion, we give a variance for this acre.
That's it.
Motion by Mr. Watson, second by Mr. Lobel. Any comments from the public? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes.
Next on the agenda is a commercial development. This is a Vital Health and Fitness preliminary site plan. This is in Mr. Gary Talbot's area. It's a recommendation of the Livingston Parish Planning Commission to approve the preliminary site plan for the Vital Health and Fitness facility.
Oh, that's the one, yeah, we talked about that.
Any comment from the council? Any comment from the public? I need a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Motion by Mr. Talbot, second by Mr. King. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes.
It's directly behind the back.
It's the, okay, further on, okay.
Next on your agenda is a servitude revocation for Mr. Derek and Erica Abney. This is in Mr. Jeff Abrams' district. Location is Jack Allen Road. Is a recommendation of the Livingston Parish Planning Commission to approve the servitude revocation for Derek and Erica Abney to revoke the 40-foot servitude, but not to implement the 15-foot Demco servitude. And the reason for that is Demco doesn't need any servitude. There's a power line going through there. Okay. So they've got right of ways to get to it.
Has this one been through the check?
Yes, this one has.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Motion by Mr. Avery, second by Mr. Lawson. Ms. Sandy, you need to read this.
If this will be proposed ordinance 17-33. This is a plat showing a proposed revocation of existing 40-foot all-purpose servitude located on lot 1A, being a portion of the Jonas Lambert Estate located in sections 41, 42, Township 8, South, Range 4 East, Greensburg Land District, Livingston Parish, Louisiana, for Derek and Erica Abney, being more particularly described herein. The public hearing will be at 6 p.m. on September the 28th.
We have a motion by Mr. Avery, second by Mr. Lawson.
Yes.
We'll call for the vote, Ms. Sandy.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Talbot?
Yes.
Mr. Lavelle?
Yes.
Mr. Averett?
Yes.
Mr. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Ard?
Yes.
Mr. Wascom?
Yes.
Motion passes. All right, at this time, we have some addendums we need to get to, and I'm going to go ahead and give A3, the parish president report, which Mr. Sam,
Yes.
you have that?
This is what we've been talking about for a long time, this vacuum truck, this combination truck. We went out for bids, as you guys can see the results on the bids, and I need a recommendation to accept the lowest bid so we can move forward with purchasing this thing.
Any comment from the public on this? Any comment from the councilman?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Harris.
Low bid for 320?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What kind of chassis is that, Sam? Do you know offhand?
Big one.
It's blue. It's blue. It's the international chassis, chassis.
Gary, I thought I saw it in that paperwork on it.
Well, I was looking
I
at.
don't have the paperwork in front of me, Gary, I don't want to lie to you. I know this is something that was demoed to us. I mean, we've seen this thing operate.
Okay.
I thought it said international.
It's a very,
I was just curious if you knew what kind it was.
Sam, will it move around for different departments, or are you pretty much dedicated to one department, or what?
DPW.
we're all agreed.
So, I mean, if the sewer needs it, or if the,
Absolutely.
because I know it did, they,
And not the sewer district in Dunn Springs.
no, and I know, that's not what I meant.
I know.
So if they need it, I'm sure you
Well,
would,
We're gonna team up with them. This is a very diversified piece of equipment. It can pull it out as well as push it out.
That's got the jet rotor and everything on it?
It's got 2 motors on it. It's got one for the actual equipment and one for the truck. So that's gonna save quite a bit of wear and tear. It's got, I mean, I don't know if we'll ever use it, but, you know, these bridges that ice over, it's got an apparatus on them where we cut that ice off these bridges, keep that traffic moving. It's very diversified.
The way the whole world's changing with this weather, you never know when we're gonna get into something bad like that.
We had to do it year before last.
Yeah.
We had a lot of ice on bridges, and we had sand, do a lot of sanding, and this thing will really help in that type of
So it's really
situation.
gonna help my area over there.
Well, it's gonna help in all areas. I mean, we've got 60% of our subdivisions now are
Yeah.
curb and gutter.
That's right. And
We
Jennifer,
don't
it's in the
have
budget.
anything to clean.
It will be.
I'm sorry.
I still ain't figured out how you talk me into this.
Well, I'm glad he did, because we certainly need it. These gentlemen over here off Dunn Road that came tonight, in Creekside over there, they can use it. We got problems all along Dunn Road.
I make a motion to authorize the purchase of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll say that.
we need that equipment.
You ready for that?
Can I just throw something in there
Yeah.
to put in the resolution for them so they can have it? That y'all are accepting their recommendation to accept the lowest responsive bid from Covington Sales and Service.
That's correct.
And to authorize the parish president to enter into any agreement or contract for this material at the price that they quoted, $320,000.
That's my motion.
Okay.
Motion by Mr. Watson. Second by Mr. King. Sandy, call for the vote.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Talbert?
Yes.
Mr. Lidwell?
Yes.
Mr. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Ard?
Yes.
Mr. Wascom?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Sam.
Mr. Sam.
We'll go on and go to addendum A1, Mr. Stewart King.
Yeah, a gentleman that's, had subdivided some land into, I guess, 5 lots, and 10 acres subdivided into 5 lots. He built a private road through the middle of it. He needs to name it. I would have assumed so that people could get mortgages, build their house. And so he asked for this to be put on here, and he wanted to name it Brixton Lane, and apparently the parish checked it, and that was open, so that's the motion I make is accept it and name it Brixton Lane.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. King, second by Mr. Harris. Have any comment from public? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. A2, Mr. Talbot. Three-way?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that's me. I got a email from the Eastleigh Lakes Homeowner Association. They're having a tremendous problem with speeding in their subdivision. I think they actually pay to have a Livingston Parish Sheriff's deputy work extra duty in there. I think last month he issued 98 citations. Wow. In their subdivision. So in an effort to defer speeding and make all the intersections safer, they've basically asked to have 3-way stop signs installed at Ardalls and Delathea, Ardalls and Page, Ardalls and Stanton Hall, Ardalls and Rosalie, Wythe and Page, Wythe and Lucas, Wythe and Stanton Hall, Wythe and Ola, Page and Ola, and Mary at Stanton Hall. They've also asked the following intersection be a 4-way stop at the intersection of Mary and Lucas. Now, they have decorative poles, so we're just gonna, if we pass this by ordinance, then DPW will provide the signs. They will provide the decorative poles and get them installed properly. So they asked me to do it, so that's what we're here for, to make this introduction so that they can make their intersection, their subdivision safer.
Ms. Sandy, you want to read?
This will be proposed ordinance 17-34. This is an ordinance to amend and reenact 17-9 stop signs of the code of ordinances in and for the parish of Livingston to add the intersections of Ardalls and and R. Dials and Page, and R. Dials and Stanton Hall, and R. Dials and Wyatt. Am I saying this right?
Wyeth and Page, yeah.
And Page and Wyatt and Lucas, it's like, and Lucas, and Wyatt and Stanton Hall, Wyatt and Ola, and Page, and Ola, and Mary, and Stanton Hall, and Mary Lucas. Public hearing will be September the 28th at 6 p.m.
I'll make a motion to introduce.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Talbot, second by Mr. Avery. Any comment from the public? Ms. Sandy, call for the vote.
Yes.
Mr. Harris.
Yes.
Mr. Talbert.
Yes.
Mr. Lavelle.
Yes.
Mr. Averett.
Yes.
Mr. Mack.
Yes.
Mr. R.
Yes.
Mr. Westland.
Yes.
Then on A4, letter of no objection, Mr. Tad Lobel.
This is something new that the state has just started requiring for boat slips on the river. This will be the first one done in Livingston Parish. And Mr. Chris probably has a little bit more information on this.
Did they charge for this?
A lease, you gotta lease the bottom of the river. If it's over one boat slip that you're building, you gotta lease the bottom of the river annually.
The state law is the state owns the bottom of navigable waterways, and so they're now trying to be more aggressive about enforcing this law. It's been on the books for a long time. But part of that law requires the parish government to issue a resolution or issue a notice of no objection. If this comes up, and you think it will come up more regularly, we can pass our own ordinance to give the administration the authority to give the objection, so it won't have to come to you each time. But for now, you're going to have to just pass the resolution. I think that's all that's required at this time.
So if, let's say I own a piece of land and it has 12 feet out into the river that's on my deed,
Right.
then you wouldn't need.
Your ownership ends at the high water mark.
Okay.
At the mean high water.
The mean high water mark, yeah.
Mhm.
Even if you
Deed
bought
shows
further,
the way out.
if the river's
You
eating
own
it,
water out there, but not the land. But you can't own that.
no, you lose your land as the river cuts into your land, your property line changes. Yes, sir.
High water mark moves.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So those houses that the river cuts underneath,
Yes, sir.
does the property line then change?
Yes, sir.
So those houses are on state-owned property?
And they gonna build it.
Conceivably true. I don't see the state coming in and trying to claim ownership. They, technically could lease it back to them if they ever got to be an issue.
What do they charge for a lease like that, Tab?
It has the discretion of whoever, but it's about $100. They give you the first one, is my understanding, and then it's $100 to $150 per slip after that.
A year?
Per year.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's, I guess, if it's a giant slip, maybe it'll be more, but that's an average, I don't know, 10 foot wide, 30 foot deep
If you
slip.
cut into your property and put your slip where it's not navigable, then you wouldn't have to pay lease, or even though it's water there? I mean,
Then it becomes river bottom.
I'm just learning about this. We just saw this on Tangipahoa River too, so it's happening over there too.
So if your boat slips out in the river touching your property, you have to pay a lease, but if it's up in, if you cut a boat slip,
Well, I don't know, I know on the beach at the Gulf, the property line changes because it's an average of so many year type thing.
Sure.
So the property line changes based on different things. I don't know how this is worded. It could be that it's not the same, it's an average type deal. I guess it could change somewhat.
We'll see if this comes up again, and if it does, we
Yeah,
may
we
have
can
to
get
write
some
us
more
an ordinance or
information.
something.
Yeah, let's see.
Sounds like we need an ordinance committee on
This
that.
may, well, let's see, this may be a one-time deal, but we'll see.
Okay.
All right. That's a motion?
Yeah, it's a motion.
You can read this, Ms. Sandy?
I'd like to kind of, so
All right.
in the resolution, y'all are adopting a resolution to issue a letter of no objection to the property owner, who's Mr. Dennis Howes. His property is addressed at 18417 Ellie Trace Road in Marpaw, and the letter of no objection is addressed to Mr. Dennis Howes to comply with the mandates of the Office of State Lands for application of a water bottom lease. The work being performed for Mr. Dennis Howes is by Sharp Brothers Construction, LLC.
Any comment from the public? Got a motion from Mr. Lobel, second from Mr. Mack. Call for vote.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Talbot?
Yes.
Mr. Liddell?
Yes.
Mr. Averett?
Yes.
Mr. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Ard?
Yes.
Mr. Wascom?
Yes.
All right, addendum A5 that's actually been pulled. It was to add bull run, but we've since found out bull run's already in the maintenance system, so we don't have to do anything with that. All right. Item 16, request for waivers intended for the allowance of permitting due to the restrictions of LP number 17-22, section 13-46.1. Prohibition of restrictions of use for mobile home, manufactured homes to be placed in the named subdivision for intent of on-site custom-built single-family homes. And we actually have two.
Yep.
The first one, Mr. Richard Sandon.
I think that's what it is.
That's
me.
Mr. Scooter's district.
All
That's at
good.
Sharif Place.
Yep.
In Denham Springs. I guess we could do, we're doing them all together, huh? Yeah.
Off of Lockhart.
Then Mr. George Sacco, LA Woods Place subdivision in Walker, Louisiana, off North Court. I know that one's in my district. I've looked at it. There's mobile homes all in that area, so there's no reason.
Cherie Place, we actually found out is designed for mobile homes.
The restrictions allow for mobile homes.
Yeah, that's what it says. So, I'm good with mine too.
I'm good with mine. Motion to
Make a motion.
by Mr. King to accept. Second by Mr. Harris. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Passes. All right, item 17, Mr. Bubba Harris.
Oh, we could wait till the end for this if y'all would like to, but
That is.
not quite, not quite. Only thing is that I have is trick or treat again this year. And we're going to have it at South Park. We had so many people from last year that asked me if we could have it again. It's a safe place. It's a good place for the children to go and just walk around. And it actually it's called trunk or treat. You park your vehicle in a certain area and pass candy out of your trunk of your vehicle or wherever, back of a truck, doesn't matter. But the time's going to be from 6 to 8, October 31st. That's Halloween night, so. It's on a Tuesday, which is a bad thing, but the ordinance says it has to be done that night. And anybody that would like to volunteer to help, more than welcome. They can get in touch with our office here, give them their names, and they'll make a list of everything. And that's about all I have.
I think it'll be fun. Trying all this.
We're gonna have Mr. Talbot with us again, I hope.
Oh, absolutely.
Anywhere they got candy.
I want y'all to look at Scooter's file here.
Ain't nothing but wrappers.
They empty. I'm gonna need my teeth when we get through with this 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you need to say.
We'll pass out candy and else bring your own.
That's right. Well, volunteer, they'll need help.
You choose right there.
I'll throw that away.
He's checking out his, yeah.
Okay.
The expiration.
I didn't get back that far yet.
All right, we'll move on to item 18. We got some board reappointments. Fire Protection District, number 5, R.C. Harris.
Yes, we want to appoint Mr. Robert Johnson to finish out the term for Fire Protection District number 5.
And this will be replacing Mr. Kurt.
Yes.
Mike Self. I'll second that motion.
All right. Is there any comment from the public on this? I have a motion from Mr. Harris. Second from Mr. Talbot. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have a Personnel Board reappointment. Mr. John Watson.
Yes, this is for the board that we put together when we first took office, and it's board's never been used and probably hadn't been used in years ago. It's just for our grievance for someone who is an employee. And Mayor Jimmy Durbin is currently on the board, and I've spoken with him, and he said he'd love to just be there in case it's ever needed. And just to let you know, he's got lots of experience, and you know, he's retired from the parish, from city government. He's done a good job with just personnel stuff. So if we ever need somebody to do it, he's a good man to have on the board. So I'd just like to
If he's
ask
fair
you.
and impartial, for sure.
Sure, he would. And Jimmy's a good man. If y'all don't mind, would just like to make a motion to reappoint him.
I'll second. Any comment from the public? First from Mr. Wascom, second from Mr. Avon. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Item 19, District Attorney Report.
No report.
No report. Item 20,
Nothing you want to hear about.
20, Committee Reports. Mr. Shane Mack, Ordinance Committee.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. I want to have an ordinance meeting October the 5th or 6th. I wanted to talk to the committee and see which day would be better for them. One's a Thursday night and one's a Friday morning. What would be better for y'all? I want to talk about 3 ordinances. I'd like to talk about a pond ordinance. I'd like to talk about the minor subdivision ordinance changes that we have talked about in the past, and then the ordinance where we want to pay the planning commissioners. You know, that was approved in the legislator's office this past term, and we need to get that ordinance on the books.
Oh, we voted on that ordinance already.
No, we didn't. We passed a resolution,
Supporting
and the state legislature, legislators, voted to approve it. Now, what we need to do is adopt a ordinance, basically stating what we want to do, and get that on the books before the end of the year, so they can start receiving payment, 1st January. So,
Wasn't that a year ago?
So what day you gonna do
it
it?
takes a while to get things done
Stuff
sometimes.
through the legislature.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got.
So what would be better for you guys? Would that be that Thursday, October the 5th, which is the Thursday between the 2 council meetings, or would it be better Friday morning at 9 o'clock?
Thursday.
Thursday if we're available, if the chamber's available.
And everybody,
We're going 5th.
are you October 5th?
No.
Okay, so let's just tentatively set that up for Thursday, October the 5th at 6:30. Sandy, we can do that?
Yes, sir.
Guys, what we can do is
Thursday, October.
we'll have all this
You got to open it?
pre-written, and we'll try to make it a quick meeting.
We couldn't do the ordinance committee on that night.
There's nothing on here.
On Friday, on Thursday.
On Thursday. Or Friday. The Thursday, I have a payroll day.
No, I was asking about the ham radio thing.
Oh, no, that's the 19th. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The ham radio classes on the 19th.
There's third Thursday. Yeah. We'll make it.
Okay, I won't go there.
All right.
You should,
I do want to go.
you'll enjoy it.
That's it?
That's all I got. Thanks for
All right. Finance Committee, Mr. Talbot.
Finance committee's gonna meet next Thursday at 5:45, because basically I think we got
She had to.
she's left.
Yeah, she got out.
We're gonna have the introduction. She's gonna give us or present to us the 2018 budget. But she's gonna email it to us ahead of time so that we don't have to spend a lot of time, because that is the night that Mr. Sharp
It's coming to see us.
coming to see us, coming to feed us. Let's be honest about it. We'll probably push the meeting back 5:45, so we got plenty of time to eat.
Gary, is that the 28th?
It's 28.
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Well, I might be.
All right?
You upstairs?
Yeah. In, yeah. OEP.
All right, and then, I guess I would like to welcome Miss Caroline, let me see if I get this right. Brusky? Gruskin? She's from North Dakota. She's our new reporter for the Advocate.
All right, welcome. Thank you.
Just,
Warmer down here.
She's been in good weather. She's been
Oh,
good
it's
weather
been
down here.
fantastic weather. You ordered that weather? You did good.
that's home of the new Miss America, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a big deal up there.
There wasn't 4 people to choose from.
Well, all right, I need
How about council comment?
councilman comments.
Can I,
Yeah.
I got a couple.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
All right. No, it's gonna be fast. The 3 meetings from now falls on what, October 26th, which is a Thursday night? What's the possibility of moving that meeting? I'm not gonna be here. I don't know if Jeff's gonna be here. I can't speak for him. I can't speak.
Tell us what
let's
it's
do
about,
reason.
because I think all of us don't need to be here.
Let's see.
Live Oak playing Walker that Thursday night. It's nationally televised football.
Nationally televised football game in our parish.
I agree, we should change the meeting.
I think we need
Go
to
to
all
game.
go to that game
Yeah.
to show the support of these two.
Is that something that we can do? We can move it to Wednesday night as long as we advertise that we're good?
Yeah, I mean, you can always move it. Your charter requires you to meet twice during the month.
Today today?
Hey, that's
No
an
matter what we
emergency.
do.
Yeah.
Just don't put it on a Tuesday, we got a bunch of gravity drainage meetings on
Oh, I
Tuesday.
understand.
Just like you move the Christmas meeting, or if it conflicts with
So
Thanksgiving.
do we have to, I mean, can we do that now by vote, or do we have to put it?
We need to hear the resolution.
If we don't move it, we promise not to
we can,
vote
because-
anything that you would like. Would
We
that
have to
be
do it
okay?
at
I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I hadn't missed a meeting yet, but I'm gonna miss out when we
Sandy,
don't move it.
wouldn't
I
we
mean, I'm
have to
just
put it on
sorry.
the next agenda instead of doing it tonight?
That's on 26.
I mean, not really.
Well, you could
Whatever
lift
that
lift the
fourth
agenda to
Thursday
do
night
it.
is.
We don't have volleyball that night, so
It's mostly about letting the public know.
I bet if we had volleyball, you'd support me on moving it, right?
But,
Like with Jeff, complain.
Should we ask who? Yeah,
I think it's
I'm
something,
with you.
I don't think,
I think it's something we definitely need to look into and moving it.
I really do.
what's the date?
The 26th.
Oh, no,
It's gonna be nationally televised?
that's why the game got moved from Friday to Thursday.
How'd that come
Yeah, put that
about?
on the next meeting agenda.
I don't know, and I've been told that's why it got moved. I mean, let me tell you what, let
That's
me
fantastic.
quantify that. I've been told that's why it got moved from Friday to Thursday.
But I got a dilemma though. I graduated from Walker, but a lot of my constituents are in Live Oak. So do I wear green or blue?
told you, wear gold.
Bring two
I'm
shirts.
gonna wear gold and I'm gonna be
One blue and
neutral.
gold,
Yeah,
I'm
one
cheering
blue
on
and
both
gold, one
sides.
green and gold, can't miss.
Jeff,
It don't matter, whoever you for is gonna lose, that's all I'm saying.
And Jeff, we're gonna figure out what kind of wager we're gonna put on this game. Something.
Like a fish dinner or something.
Oh, yeah, I mean, just like a cooking thing.
That's right.
Somebody gotta wear something silly to the meeting or something. We're gonna figure it out.
You know, me and Mike could make this a fundraising type deal to send stuff to Florida. or
So you're
Texas.
talking about October's meeting, Gary?
October 26th.
Yeah, the fourth
these schools.
Thursday in October.
Okay.
Instead of collecting at the gate, maybe they could collect stuff, because we're gonna have more things down the road too,
That's
y'all.
a school board call.
I know, that's what I'm saying, we gotta make a call to our.
So
I know.
we need our gate. That's a Walker coming alive, we got to pay the coach, son.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
So they all
I have a motion to adjourn.
So what do you?
Yes.
I have a motion to adjourn.
He got something.
All right, one more.
Quick.
Mr. Critics,
Yes, sir.
we have a little situation over on Amy Church Road we need some help with. Prior to the flood, there was a house, 2 trailers. There used to be a piece of property, one, like a little over an acre, one piece of property, about an acre. They had cut a lot out of the back, so there was a trailer in the back lot. The front lot had a house and a trailer, but the trailer at the time it went on the front lot was a family partition. So there were 3 addresses put on the lot. Flood came, everything got destroyed, got bulldozed, the property was sold to another individual. Okay, so they issued a permit for the back trailer, because it was on a separate lot. They issued a permit for the second trailer, which was their prior. But there's not enough square footage there to subdivide the lot into 3 lots. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't meet the ordinance.
Right.
16
So we have a situation where the neighbor is upset because the landowner who acquired the property is planning on putting a 3rd trailer
Right,
where a house used to be.
right.
There seems to be some quandary as to whether addresses take precedent over our current rules. Under our current rules, you could not put 2 trailers on 1 lot.
Right, well, they're asking for a permit.
They've
the trailer.
asking for a permit for the 3rd, so permitting feels that because there were 3 addresses in the past, there'll be 3 addresses forever. But are addresses grandfathered in, or when we transfer ownership and there's nothing there, we've got to start from scratch?
My off-the-cuff opinion, without studying it, would be that they would have to meet your current ordinance without a waiver. I can see there might be an argument for a waiver in that situation if the people bought it thinking that they were buying it, knowing that they could put 3 structures there. So,
And I think the problem is that they're replacing a house with a trailer.
Right.
And so in essence, they're creating a mini trailer park
They really
without
are,
meeting any of the guidelines.
right.
And I believe if a house was being erected in the original place,
Right.
there would be no objection from the neighbors. But
Right.
because they're putting a trailer next to their house,
Right.
they feel like they're putting a mini trailer park in.
Yep. I
So-
think they'd have to meet the current ordinance without a waiver.
Can you research that and be sure you're confident? Because I believe it's permitting's intent to issue a permit based on an address.
Yeah, I'll talk to them about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. You got it.
You're up.
Hey, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second by Mr. Harris.
I'm
All in
almost got out
favor?
under an hour.
All opposed?